brief history of the Berlin Wall. Of all the events leading to the demise of the Soviet Union, none is more emblematic than the collapse of the Berlin Wall in 1989. The story of its rise and fall is as fascinating as it is complex. For almost 30 years, the wall served as an unshakable barrier between the two halves of a formerly unified German nation. The German Democratic Republic, GDR, to the east, and the Federal Republic of Germany, FDR, to the west. Erected in August 1961 by the German Democratic Republic, the structure featured large concrete walls topped by barbed wire and punctuated by imposing guard towers. A special area along its East German side was carved out, known as the Death Strip. It was fortified with various defense structures, including anti-vehicle trenches. For the German Democratic Republic, the wall served a vital strategic purpose. It buffered the Eastern Bloc nations against potential infiltration by counter-revolutionary elements from the West. Indeed, the official name given to the wall by the German Democratic Republic was the Anti-Fascist Protection Rampart. On the other side of the border, the structure was generally perceived as a means of corralling the population of the German Democratic Republic and preventing it from defecting to the West. This impression was reinforced by the renowned vigilance of the East German border guards, who killed roughly 200 of the approximately 5,000 people who attempted to escape over the wall between 1961 and 1989. Clearly, it was more than just a physical barrier, it was a potent symbol of the great ideological Iron Curtain that separated East and West during the Cold War. The order to begin construction of the Berlin Wall was issued on August 12, 1961, by the German Democratic Republic State Council Chairman Walter Ulbricht. Police and military units were summarily dispatched to close the border, while East German soldiers and workers proceeded to demolish the streets and erect barbed wire edifices, the first stages of the commanding 96-mile-long fortification that would separate East and West Germany for almost 3 decades. The construction of the wall was overseen by forces from the National People's Army and the combat groups of the working class. At this point, the somber aims of the German Democratic Republic's project were readily apparent to the citizens of East Germany. To flee across the border would mean having to contend with obstacles like chain fences and minefields, as well as patrols that had been given shoot-on-sight orders. The Berlin Wall effectively ended travel between the two German states, splitting family members on opposite sides of the divide and depriving many East Berliners of the jobs they had once held in the West. It also had the effect of isolating the city of West Berlin, leaving it surrounded by the hostile territory of the German Democratic Republic. The reaction on the part of West Berliners was fierce. Mayor Willy Brandt led public demonstrations against the barrier. He even dubbed it the Wall of Shame and strongly rebuked the United States for failing to intervene. Over the ensuing decades, the wall continued to be widely unpopular on both sides of the divided German nation, even as the East German regime remained committed to maintaining it. By 1989, however, the political climate in the Eastern Bloc had begun to change. A program of liberalization, associated chiefly with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev's policies of glasnost and perestroika, was eroding the political authority of the pro-Soviet governments of Eastern Europe. In the West, Cold War ideologues were quick to seize upon the mounting tide of dissension in the hope of hastening the demise of the Soviet system. In a 1987 speech at the Brandenburg Gate, US President Ronald Reagan delivered his famous demand, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." East Germany was by no means immune to the shifting political winds. In November of 1989, a wave of protests against the East German government swept the nation. In the face of mounting civil unrest, the German Democratic Republic allowed its citizens to cross the border into West Berlin and West Germany. Scores of East Germans did so, to the welcoming cheers of West Berliners on the other side. The Berlin Wall was now officially defunct. It was relieved of its armed watchmen and turned over to the masses, who hacked away at its concrete flanks in pursuit of souvenirs. Its fall laid the groundwork for the formal reunification of Germany in October 1990. Under the authority of the new German state, the wall was demolished between 1990 and 1992.